Oh, the vote itself, you didn't say.
There's nothing in here about the vote.
Ready to grab
Oh,
this
wait a
guy by
minute.
the throat.
Yeah, see, no vote.
Yeah.
No vote, no vote.
Yes,
So
I
maybe
gotta
we
find
should
out.
just
There's a
handwrite
court
it in and
date
sign it.
in Boston.
All right, thank you, Bob. We're on record. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming and for tonight's Wareham Zoning Board of Appeal for Town of Wareham, and it is 6:30 p.m. The agenda for September 11, 2019. I'm going to call the meeting to order. I make a roll call. My far right associate member Robert Haskell, Veronica Debonese, my clerk Jim Akabachi, my left town planner Ken Buckland, myself the chair Nazi El Kulasi. Apparently we don't have a 5 board member. We can open the hearing. If you choose not to go forward, you have the right for 5 board members. So I guess we have one hearing tonight, unless I know Walter is not coming, neither Jan.
Did not hear from any of the board members other.
Jake didn't say whether he was coming or not. He sometimes comes in at the last minute. I'll send him a
Alright.
text just so we...
Yeah. Are you guys here for Ash Street? Yes. Everybody? Okay.
Is this gonna need a 4 vote to get it through? I didn't look to see what it is. Okay.
Well, we have
Yes,
to
it's a
open it
special
anyway.
permit or variance.
We'll have to read it for the record anyway. All right, so are we doing the minutes first, or? Or you
I
wanna-
just got done reading
wanna
them. I'm
table
good
it?
with them.
Minutes, do you read them?
No, I have not.
I got them right here.
All right, why don't we table them,
Okay.
and we go after? All right, let's go to public hearing 35-19, Peter and Charlene Mulleran, 17 Ash Street. Wanna come forward, please?
I hand it down to Jim to read in.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Yes.
I feel more comfortable with another member of the board, obviously.
Okay, well, we do.
Is it,
Why don't you sit down, state your name for the record? We have to read it for the record, and you'll choose not to continue.
You choose to continue.
I mean, you'll choose to continue for 5 members.
right, well, my name is Dennis Connery. I'm appearing in behalf of Peter and Charlene Mulhern.
Let's
tonight.
read
Right.
the, let's.
We
open
gotta
hearing.
read the notice
We gotta
first.
read it first.
It's
and then-
scheduled for 7 o'clock, I think. The notice that
You're
we
willing to
got...
wait.
But
You're willing to
it's
wait.
okay, we'll wait. But we have to read it for the
Okay,
record,
that's fine. But
and then we'll see what happens. Go
The
ahead.
zoning board of appeals will hold a public hearing on September 11th, 2019 at 7 PM in room 320 of the Wareham Multi-Service Center, 48 Marion Road, Wareham, Mass. 02571, to consider petition number 35-19 for a special permit/variance from the requirements of Article 6, Table 621, residential districts of the Wareham zoning bylaws, to Peter and Charlie Mulhern, care of Dennis Conroy, 245 Main Street, Wareham, Mass. 02571, seeking to raise and construct a new single-family home located at 17 Ash Street, Wareham, Mass. This is map 38, lot 17, in the R30 zoning district.
All right, now please state your name for the record.
for the record, my name is Dennis Connery. I'm an attorney. I'm appearing in behalf of Peter and Charlene Mulhern, the petitioners in this case.
Gentleman with you?
Oh, and also appearing today is Nick DeVoe of Donahue Engineering.
Architects.
Okay.
Donahue Architects.
And,
Nick DeVoe, Donahue Architects.
all right.
Let me ask a question before,
Before you go forward,
before-
let me just look at it quick.
yeah. While you're looking, my question is it possible to open the meeting and then decide to continue?
Yeah.
Because of the lack of the 5th member?
Yes, it is.
Because we do have 4 bodies here. If all 4 bodies were in agreement, we could save these people another trip in.
Correct, and if you don't feel so,
If the board was able to telegraph their feelings early enough, and still give you time to withdraw, it might save you a trip.
I appreciate that thought, and it sounds like something that makes sense to us.
right.
The Mulherns have come down from Boston.
I hate to see people come back 2 and 3
I know,
times.
but if I may, the Mullen rule does not allow that. Once we open the hearing before, you have to, if it was a second hearing, somebody could read the minutes and testify to jump back in. But if we open the hearing before, that's it, you're stuck with 4. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay.
So I don't know what your wishes.
Well, we're still a little early. I mean, I don't know what board members usually appear.
All right, why don't we
6
table,
o'clock.
let's do our minutes. We'll table you for 10 minutes. We'll
Yeah,
see.
because the notice that I got was it was a 7 o'clock hearing.
All right, very well, that's fine. We'll wait for 7. All right, let's table this meeting. Can I have a
So
motion to
moved.
table? Do I have second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, just give us 15 minutes. We'll do our thing, hopefully. I'll call a couple of members, see if they're coming. I know one of them is not coming. You all come. Sorry about that.
Okay, so I've had a chance to review these minutes, with the exception of section 6 under other business. Everything that's written here is correct, except that she didn't record the vote, and I hand wrote it in and initialed it. If that's acceptable to the board, I'd move to accept as presented with my hand edits.
What do you guys think?
I'm not sure where, you're on section 6. Any other business discussions? Is this what you're talking about?
We're on the minutes from last meeting?
Yep.
Okay, and if you go to actually the third page,
Yep.
page 3, and where it says VI, section 6, any other business discussion, A, Tesla charging station.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, they were seeking a 6-month extension. Mrs. Kendrick made a motion to grant. Mr. Morrison seconded. But then it doesn't say here that what happened. So we
Okay.
voted 5-0-0 to grant.
Okay.
Okay,
So I'm just handwriting that in.
okay.
And the same thing for B,
Do you have Jen's number?
and the same thing for C. And I've put my initials beside it, and therefore I move to approve.
Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Second by Bob. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, oppose, abstain. Okay, carries. All right, still trying to find Jen. I text Jake.
Jan or Jake?
Jake, I text. Let me call him. Walter's stuck in Boston.
I just have Jan's email.
Send her an email.
You, did you talk to Walter recently?
Are you people here on the Ash Street application? Yes. Okay, just curious, just making sure there wasn't something else.
This phone. I have a new phone, so I lost half my contacts. I have to-
Isn't that fun?
I would, did anybody have Walter's number?
Walter's not.
Walter told us he
He
wasn't
told me
coming.
he can't make it.
But I'm wondering if, you know, if he's back, if he can run over
He's
just
not
for a
answering.
quick.
Sure to get back to you as soon as possible.
He might be willing to, I don't have his number.
I have
He's
his
pretty
number.
willing to, he's pretty good.
I'll call him, yeah, because next
Also, if
hearing,
he's here, if he happens to be here, he would probably just run over
because next hearing, next time we
for
swamped.
7. Walter.
I mean, he's here for something else?
No, I'm saying if he's in town, if he's already back from Boston.
All right, let me
try
text
him.
him. Let me text him, I'll go.
Yep.
You
I
have
mean,
his
you can
number?
tell him we have one person, one hearing, really.
Right, okay, let me see.
We can still look through the folder, and we can still look through the, application ahead of time and while we're waiting. When they're gonna tear a house down and build another one in its place, if they're using the same footprint, I always tend to wanna say yes, because they're improving the town. If they were tearing down a
Sure, we
house,
should, Jimmy, we shouldn't.
shouldn't be talking about it without them, okay.
No, not
Oh,
yet.
yeah, 'cause then we'd have officially opened the hearing, so. I'm just a motor mouth, and they have to shut me off once in a while.
Hopefully Walter's back. Yeah, the only reason next hearing, we have like 5 next, the following 2 Wednesdays.
I was surprised how light it was tonight.
Hey, what are we gonna, we can talk about this, though, being in any trouble. What are we gonna do the day before Thanksgiving? Are we gonna have a meeting?
Thanksgiving, let me look. I don't think
Day
so,
before
usually we
Thanksgiving
don't.
falls, pardon me?
It's only September.
I
No, but
know,
I wanna, you know me,
yeah,
I
it's,
like
it's
to...
Yeah, I
better.
do.
That-
I do.
That's better, we do that, you're good, that's way better. Okay,
No.
28th,
If I'm not gonna be here, I wanna close the whole thing down.
you
it's
go.
Thanksgiving, okay, 27, most likely no,
Okay, I'm not gonna be here,
right,
so...
so,
If
I
that-
think,
If that helps you decide,
yeah, I think we should, from now,
I think we should just announce it now and tell, what's
Does-
what's the gal's name?
Sonia.
Sonia.
Tell Sonia to get the, so
Yeah.
that nobody gets
We,
scheduled.
we
and-
always say we'll have it, and most people don't show up, and everybody comes down.
I'd prefer not to have it too,
Huh?
yeah. I would
The night
prefer not to
before
have it,
Yeah,
yeah.
and a lot of people don't show up, so it's a waste of time for
I'll be
everybody.
Yeah.
home making snickerdoodles.
Oh,
Right.
well,
Yeah, okay.
November,
Well, I'm having Thanksgiving this year.
all right, so, okay, let's,
Going to Disney?
Ken,
Yeah.
Tim, why don't we make a motion that we're not meeting on November 27?
So moved.
Do I have a second
Second.
for that? Second by Bob, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, oppose, abstain, so no meeting on November
November
27. 27.
So while we're looking at the calendar, I'll be back, I think I'll be back by then. I'm going for a whole month this time.
The second
Let's look at
hearing,
Christmas.
11, 25. So apparently there's not gonna be hearing on the 25th for Christmas
It
as well.
falls on, exactly.
The 11, we
But that's
went,
already written in as a holiday, so we
Right.
shouldn't have to vote on that.
right. So apparently 25th there's not gonna be hearing. The 11, yes.
And can you go back on the calendar into November? So we're saying no meeting on the 20, on Wednesday, but there is a meeting on the 13th.
13, correct.
So you have one meeting in the month.
So I was gonna leave here, I'll leave here. That's all. I can do that.
You sure?
Yeah,
Oh, you know what I did? Upcoming
We've got the-
hearing. It's on November 13. Next week we,
Yeah, November 13th.
right, but you said next, our
September,
next hearing
the
is,
23rd.
The
September,
25th.
25th of September.
we have
sorry.
3 hearings only.
So you only have 3. I thought you had more.
Okay,
Okay. You have 3.
All right, okay. Okay, so I guess we didn't hear from
This
nobody.
new phone, I can't find my
No, I didn't get any.
calculator. Can't find my
Let's see.
flashlight.
I emailed, Jake can't make it.
Really?
You cannot make it. Okay, so we do not have, no matter what. And unless we
Oh, here they are.
reach Walter.
Walter's not answering.
So he's probably in traffic. He doesn't seem like the talk on the phone while he's driving kind of guy.
No answer from Jen, huh?
No answer from Jan.
Do we want to wait till 7 to see if we have any responses from anybody?
I don't think they're gonna answer.
Yeah. I don't know what a difference 15 minutes is gonna make at this point.
Yes.
We're prepared to go forward with.
You are? Okay. Why don't you call?
Everybody in?
Yes, excellent. You have a site plan?
Exhibit 3.
Let me ask you something. Doesn't that allow them for a relief from 1325 if it's, is this existing non-conforming?
Pre-existing non-conforming, yeah.
Okay, so they should, you should be able, if it's not detrimental, under section 13.
It should have been added in there for some reason. too.
All right, you wanna come forward, please? Jimmy, can you find section 1325? Should I add in?
Oh, you found, that's what I was looking for, the letter. It's in there.
It's in there, but this, he's missing something here.
Okay, I can find it. That's more. 1325, huh?
1335.
1335, sorry.
1335.
All right. So I guess you choose to go with 4 members, so
We do.
Do we need to
Alright.
reopen it now?
No.
Okay.
it's been tabled, so just please carry on.
Is 52 what we're after?
Yeah, I had it backwards, I had it 25.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Chairman, before I get started, I have taken the opportunity to make some copies of the relevant sections of the zoning bylaw. I don't know whether you each have copies. I made copies for the board of the articles that we're proceeding under, essentially proceeding under.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and pass them out? He made us copies so we don't have to be sharing our...
So I made 5 copies.
You're looking after this section, right?
Yeah, let me give these guys
Actually,
each
1350,
5,
54, and 1355.
one for
right.
you.
Yeah, I know, he didn't put it in here.
There's one for, I think they got the numbers all screwed.
All right, why don't you, we go that, just state your thing.
Thanks.
And while I'm up on my feet, what I'll also give you is
Few pictures, okay.
relevant pictures of Parkwood Beach.
All right,
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the board, as I mentioned earlier, I'm appearing tonight in behalf of Peter and Charlene Mulhern, who are the current owners of 17 Ash Street. Mr. Mulhern's family has owned that property for 65 years, since 1954. He bought it, or he received it from his dad about 8 years ago. They're summer residents and love the Parkwood Beach area. And there are a number of Parkwood Beach residents, mostly the ones that are going to be most directly affected by the construction of a new house on at 17 Ash Street. So what Peter and Charlene now have 6 children. They have 5 grandchildren. 5 is on the way. And they've outgrown a very modest little house. The first picture that I provided you with is a picture of 17 Ash Street, showing the boundaries between both sides of the property. I also took the opportunity to drive through Parkwood Beach and take pictures of some of the larger homes that have been built over the years in Parkwood Beach. Many of them have been rebuilt from the small original cottages that were built in the 30s and 40s. Peter and Charlene Mulhern now want to build a house and to replace the modest little cottage that they have now so that they can accommodate their children and their grandchildren. It'll just be a seasonal residence. It'll be built as a year-round residence, but it'll just be used seasonally. The property is now serviced by an on-site sewage disposal system, but because there's sewage out there, they're going to connect to the sewer. The plans that we have provided to the board show the outline, the footprint of the existing building, which is a 1.5-story structure. The existing dwelling is only 5 feet from the side boundary line on the left-hand side. The Mulherns seek to demolish the existing building and remove the Title V system and connect to municipal sewerage. The Mulherns now seek to demolish the existing building and replace it with a new dwelling that will meet the current height requirement of 35 feet, a setback requirement from the sideline and the front line, and the maximum building coverage limits of 25%. Nick DeVoe, in a second, will walk you through the proposed plan and answer any questions about the proposed structure. 17 Ash Street is located in the R30 zoning district that requires 30,000 square feet of area, 150 feet of frontage, 20 feet setback from the street, and 10-foot setback from each side for a building lot.
20 from the front, you said, right?
I'm sorry?
20 from the front.
20 from the street, right. And 10 from each side.
Okay.
Zoning bylaw provides a lawfully pre-existing, non-conforming, single-family structure may be altered or extended under Section 251, or 1351. However, I think the most relevant section that we want to proceed under, because we don't want to extend it or modify it, we want to demolish it. And the newly, I think I can still call it a new zoning bylaw that came out, I think, last year. Under 1354 and 1355 provides relief, and I believe authority for the board to authorize this construction. And under Section 1354, a lawfully pre-existing non-conforming single or two-family residential structure may, by right, be demolished and replaced with a new structure on the same site, provided the two conditions are met. Number one, the proposed new construction will conform to current building heights, setbacks, and coverages for the zoning district in which it is located. And I believe this plan satisfies those three elements. And number two, the nonconformance concerns the size of the lot in question and or the frontage of the lot. So that what's non-conforming about the property now is the size of the lot. And so I believe the two conditions have been met for Section 1354. So I submit that we had requested that the building inspector issue a building permit because we felt that perhaps we were entitled by right to the building permit because of 1354. However, the building department denied the application for a building permit, citing as reasons for that denial the reason that the submitted permit application was denied because of Article 6, Table 621, residential districts. The proposed decks and bulkhead do not conform to the setback and maximum building coverage. So every town that I appear before has a different zoning bylaw, and the different nuances of each town are very specific. So, you know, my thought is that one could look at in this plan, on this plan, there, on the left-hand side of the building, there is a bulkhead going down into the basement. And it's a typical bulkhead. I don't know what the dimensions, Mr. DeVoe can explain that to you. I submit that issue can be, the setback, the sideline setback is, I submit, is from the building. And the definition of building in the zoning bylaw is enlightening. And in the package that I've given each of you, I made a copy of the definition for building. And essentially, it says anything with a roof over it is a building. So what our architect has done is design a structure that has part of the structure has no roof over it, and that's those are the decks on the front and on the entry deck, and the bulkhead, I would say, has no roof over it. The definition section of the zoning bylaw, which is on page 123 of the zoning bylaw, but it's also clipped as a copy to the handout that I gave you. It says, a building is a combination of materials, whether portable or fixed, having a roof, and enclosed with exterior walls or firewalls, built to form a structure for a shelter of persons, animals, or property.
Are you reading from MGL?
No, I'm reading from the
My
Town of
bylaw.
Wareham
Bylaw?
zoning bylaw, page 123.
Okay,
Each town does this differently, yeah,
I understand.
yeah. So from that, our architect determined that that which wasn't under a roof isn't a building. So, part of this structure is actually not under a roof. It's an open deck and a bulkhead. So in the calculation of 25% of building coverage, that was not included by Mr. DeVoe's office. So the 25% calculation, which is what your threshold is here, doesn't include the parts of this structure that don't have a roof over it. Open decks, which I guess theoretically could be replaced with a patio.
Just, if I may interrupt you for one moment, please.
Sure.
For my own edification. We're talking about the decks and the bulkhead.
Right.
Are the decks and the bulkhead setbacks within the current bylaw?
Well, there's a de minimis section under the zoning bylaw.
So we're talking setbacks and lot coverage?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if,
Yeah, and
I didn't know if,
yes,
I didn't know if
those-
that calculation was lot coverage.
That's what the building
Yeah,
commissioner...
no, it says that, but I didn't know
Yeah.
the way it's written, if we
Right.
were,
Right, so the bulkhead on the left-hand side is in the 10-foot
within the
setback.
10 feet.
Right.
And the deck, and some of the decks are within
And
the,
some of the deck, and I'll let Mr. DeVoe point out to you what portion of the side deck is in the 10-foot.
while I'm listening to you, I'd like to know that, if you don't
Okay,
mind. If I could
okay.
interrupt you. I hope-
Maybe this is a good time for me to stop
I
talking.
kind of didn't go through the chair, but,
That's okay, go ahead.
okay.
Maybe it'd be a good time for me to let Mr. DeVoe...
Sorry, I didn't, yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, Mr. DeVoe, could you explain to the board,
Do you want me to put my 2 cents first?
I'm sorry?
Do you want me to give my comments first? Do you want me to give you my comments first,
Sure.
or you want him to go first?
Give them the chance to answer. Yeah, go ahead, that gives him the chance to,
Let me, okay, what you're talking about a bulkhead and a deck, it does have to conform with zoning. However, the good thing going for you, you have an existing non-conforming. So in our bylaws, if the board does not feel it's so detrimental to the neighborhood, to the area, you have the right to increase the nonconformity. So that's a good thing going for you. But in our bylaws, bulkhead, if you are to build it from scratch, conforming lot, bulkhead and desk has to conform with setbacks. You're reading on building, but if you read the definition of structure, explains that perfectly, so.
Okay.
But in your case,
Okay.
it works in your favor because it's an existing non-conforming. Now, it just makes it more clearer, this way we don't get into
Okay.
it too much deeper. So, sir, you could,
tripping over each other.
exactly. Sir, you wanna let us know quick about the building?
So the deck setbacks is what my big concern. Where are they and how far are they?
Do I have to stay here?
No.
Just bring the mic
Bring
next
the
to you a
mic
little
with you,
bit.
or bring the easel over,
Yes, as,
we don't have a cordless, I'm sorry.
you have to be in the mic as close as you can.
So this is the bulkhead here.
Yep.
It's about 6.5 feet deep. The final dimension will be depending on the manufacturer. The deck in the rear, which is only about 16 inches above grade, it'll be 2 steps up. It's that, and then the one along the
But
side
how much
here.
of those decks are within,
this
are not
entire-
within this proper setback?
So
back
the
one's
setback is 20 feet, so this entire deck is inside the
And
setback.
the previous footprint,
The previous footprint is highlighted in yellow
yeah,
here.
yeah.
So you can see the dark line.
Okay, I see it now, okay,
That's the building itself, which
Thank you.
conforms to all the setbacks.
okay. That was my question. If you wanted to expound, I don't care.
What's, Counselor, what's the setback from the back? Is it 20 or 10?
It's 10 feet from the
10
back.
feet, so the back one confirms. You don't have a problem with the back one. Correct? You have 12, 11 too, so you don't have an issue on the back deck.
I don't believe so, and I think the front deck is more...
The side, only the side you have an
It's
issue.
the side, it's just the
Right,
side.
because he said it's in the setback, the gentleman there, it's not. It's
That's
10
right.
feet from the back. Just to make this clear. All right, so, all right, so, just to make quick explanation. It's an existing non-conforming, that when I tear it down, it's up to the board, if you see, like I said before, if the board don't see this is more detrimental to the neighborhood, we can give the gentleman a waiver on section, an article, I just wrote it down, Article 13, I believe. Yeah, Article 13, under 1352, a relief under section, table 1352. If the board does not feel it's not, it is that, if the board feels it's detrimental to the neighborhood, it doesn't go with the neighborhood, which I feel, I could see all the houses next to it, they're all pretty much tight setbacks, same frontage. And then the board could say, okay, it's a variance, then we'll deal with that as a variance. Before, let me hear what the board member have to say from comments, then we go back to you, okay? Robert, what do you have for comment?
Looking at the pictures, what they're planning on doing here, I don't see a problem. I really don't.
Okay, Veronica.
I do have concerns with the setbacks. I know that it's non-conforming, but I think that it's not just the setbacks of the deck on the right, which leaves a 6-foot to the side, but also that bulkhead is only 3.7 feet from the side. And then the whole area that's covered with this whole, including the decks, is closer to a third rather than a fourth of the lot when you include the decks with the house. So I think that I don't want to see quite as much. I would actually prefer to see that side deck probably not there. And then I would be, maybe move that bulkhead to the opposite side of the house so that you're not quite so close. But that's just, you know, then you would decrease the area as well.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
The client would be happy to replace the deck in the rear with a patio.
It's not the deck in the
Rear is not a
rear.
problem. You
Yeah, it's
conform.
fine. It's the side, and I was looking to see why that side was there, and I realized it's your entry door. So I was thinking maybe, you know, if your entry door were at the front, then and you didn't have that little area, you're a lot further from your, you know, at least you'd be in conformance with the setback in that area without having to alter the structure of your house at all, other than the door, I guess, because you're not gonna, you probably want to go into your door off of the deck, I'm assuming.
So, your concern is with this deck over here,
Yes.
and now there's
I know, I
there's
saw
a
that.
shower that appears,
The shower is tucked in. I did look at that.
so the shower's about 2 feet over the, into the,
She's fine.
you're okay with that?
Yeah, the shower seemed fine.
Now, the elevation of the deck, if I heard Mr. DeVoe correctly, and I'm looking at the picture, which is, this, it's a combination step and a deck, is that correct, Mr. DeVoe? So, as long as you do you understand that there's a step around the outside of that deck? So, and the deck itself is 16 inches off the ground at the highest point, so there's an 8-inch step, and then you go up to 16 on that
I guess,
side.
so, and my concern is that it is very close to the lot line, and when you have people coming in and out of the main front door, and it's that close to the lot line, you're gonna potentially end up in the neighbor's property every time if you have a gathering and you're going into the house. And I understand maybe the neighbors don't mind now, but when you're talking about future, and if it changes hands, maybe the neighbors aren't gonna want that.
Okay, well, I think we've got neighbors on both sides here today, and a number of people from the neighborhood, so maybe we can,
Yeah, we will in a
that
minute.
issue.
We will in a minute. Jimmy.
I have no questions. I got my questions answered.
All right.
I'm waiting to hear from the neighbors.
I don't think that deck is invasive at all. Doesn't have railing or nothing. It adds a lot of accent to the property. I'm sure they're gonna build a fence. So I don't see a problem with it at all. I think it's neat with the overhang above it. It gives such a good, pretty accent to the house. Instead of, it adds a lot. So I
Why
think
is the access on the side when the driveway's at the front?
that's how the architect draw it.
Oh, I'm just,
That's how they like it, probably.
oh, well, I wanna know why. There's gotta be a reason, right?
Love it. That's how they like it.
It was just putting the entrance at the end of the driveway. I mean, there's no particular set reason for it.
You come up to the
There
microphone.
you
and
gotta
ask.
come spread.
You got, say your name and who you are, where you live, that kind of stuff.
Before we go for it, sit down, please, sir. Before we go for it, I gotta do one thing. Who's in the audience wanna speak in favor of the project? In favor? Okay, who's against? Okay, I hear none. So I guess you're in favor, sir. You could just state your name. I know, so he is in favor, apparently. Just state your name. State your name for the record.
My name's Peter Mulhern. I'm the owner.
Okay,
If you can imagine, if this lot was big enough,
Yeah,
the house would face this way,
yeah.
and the door would be in the middle. I can't do that because the lot's not wide enough. So I had to turn the house sideways. Does that make sense?
yeah, it does.
Does.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. All right, anyone else want to speak in favor, or you just in favor? Somebody want to say something who's in favor? Or you just... Okay, that's fine. As long, how many in favor, just lift your hand. Okay, well, we have over like almost 10 people in favor,
Everybody in
just
the
for the
room is
record.
on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hands got raised in favor.
All right, so let the record show 14 people in favor of the project. Let me finish, sir. 14 and,
I'm sorry, the man in
14
the
in
blue shirt with the
favor.
white hat, are you part of this? Are you for or against? For,
Oh, okay.
15.
okay, so we have 15 in favor of this project, none against. Okay, Counselor, okay.
Just briefly, one of the gentlemen over here is the trustee of the Parkwood Beach Association, and those plans were showed to the trustees, and he is here today in support of that. He says the Board of Trustees loves the house and thinks it's a great idea, and in favor of it. And the abutters on both sides of this house are here today, and among the people who raise their hands in support of the property. Those are the people that are going to be directly affected by this house.
All right, let's go back to Veronica. What's your intake on that?
You have a lot of power. Is your one vote's gonna make the difference between a yay and a nay?
I love the house. I think it's great. I'm just,
I think the gentleman, the owner, explained it perfectly.
Yeah.
That because the house is narrow, I've built a lot of houses, it makes sense. It's always better to go on the side. That's the perfect example in the way the house is set. If the lot was wider, like he said, you'd go the other way.
I guess I've been overruled.
But we don't wanna overrule you. We
Well,
wanna
it's
win
just,
you
I'm
over.
just concerned with, I understand now everybody's okay with it, but I'm just thinking, in the future, that house is probably gonna be there for a long time, and
They might narrow their market. Somebody may not buy the house because the door is there, but they'll have that choice.
let me ask you, what's the standard distance, because I'm sure there's a lot of non-conformance in Parkwood.
Right.
That's why.
So what is the standard? Is this- I know, and I was looking at that, but they don't, there's no, I can't tell where the lot lines are from the pictures. I can see that they're pretty close, the houses.
The house,
You can't speak, ma'am, while they're talking, sorry.
the lots are typically 50 feet wide there, by 80 to 90 feet long.
Oh, you mean like right here?
Yeah. So here's,
Oh, this is the house right here.
right,
We're
this is
talking
the
about.
property line right here, in that picture. And there's the other one right
Is
there.
it-
This driveway
is
is.
it
big.
Somebody,
Go ahead.
somebody in the back want to say something?
The lady.
You wanna come forward, ma'am? Please? Just sit down, just state your name for the record and address.
Hi, Deborah Burke. I live on the side by the door,
By the door.
side
That-
door.
that Proposed entry?
Yes.
Oh, actually, it is the entry now, it's on the side, actually.
My family's owned that house since it was built, and I have no problem with the door being close to me, and I've spoken to my heirs, which will eventually get the house, and they have no problem.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your input, ma'am.
Counselor, are they planning to put a fence between the neighbors? No? Yeah.
No, they haven't planned on putting a fence.
I mean, they could always in the future, somebody sell or something, they could always.
If somebody objects to what's going on, they'd build a fence, but the whole street is here. They're all
Right,
good friends.
and it's not nice to have fences when it's close to each other.
I'm inclined to close the public hearing and make a motion in favor.
Do you want to add anything before we close?
I have nothing further.
Sir? All right, hearing none, let's hear a
I
motion.
make a motion to close the public hearing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Bob, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, oppose, abstain. Okay, now what's,
I make a second motion to approve the plans as submitted,
special
subject to standard conditions for a special permit.
all right, so
Making a finding that there's no detriment to the neighborhood.
I'm finding that there's
No more detriment.
absolutely no detriment to the neighborhood. I think they're making a non-conforming situation less non-conforming, and they're bringing up I think the whole neighborhood all got a $10,000 raise in their home value because of this project.
Yeah.
Okay, so under section
They can pay the
1352,
taxes to go along with it. No.
under section 1352, so I guess the board sees that this project is not detrimental to the neighborhood, so we could act upon it as a special permit, not a variance. So if, do I have a second on that?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure that that section, I like the way you're moving, but I think that maybe a special permit under section 1355.
What did I say?
I think you said 52.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Under 1355. Article,
Article 6, Table 621.
no, Article 13, Table 1355.
Right.
If the findings is that it's not more detrimental to the neighborhood, so it is
1355?
1355. So we'll treat it, the motion of Jim to treat it as a special permit. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
oppose, abstain. Now the wishes on the special permit.
Motion to grant.
Motion to grant by Jim with the
Standard
standard condition. Any discussion on that? I hear no discussion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Robert. All in favor, say aye.
All right,
Aye.
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 Oppose, abstain. It carries. Thank you.
got 4.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
May I say one thing before everybody leaves? 18 years ago, I lost 343 colleagues of mine in New York City. I'd like a moment of silence for those people, if you don't mind. It's kind of important to me and members of the fraternity of fire service people that I represent. Thank you.
Very good.
Thanks, folks. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sign your name.
You know, Robert, human have a bad disease, they forget.
Sorry?
Said a lot of human have a bad disease. We have and humans forget quick, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, no, I didn't forget today, I just
I
didn't
know
know.
it just like goes, the years go by, and
13 years.
18 years.
18 years, yeah.
I still... You can find my last name on the monument.
All right, let's sign that thing.
It's
Being
James
done.
signed.
All right.
You guys go for it.
Signed.
Thank you very much. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
When's the first
I hope
barbecue?
everything works out for
Good
you
luck.
guys.
Thank you for improving
When's
our
the first
town.
barbecue?
Tonight,
Tonight. Have a great night, sir.
Right?
Excuse me, you said the value of the houses would go up?
Well, we don't get to set that, but
Yeah.
Because I live on another street, how's that affect me?
yours will go down. Yours will go down.
Oh, nice, taxes too? Everybody have a good night.
Have a good evening, sir.
All right.
So I have a
Do
question.
you guys want,
We're
yeah,
still
do you guys
open.
want to add anything? Okay, let's make it,
I haven't seen the agenda. Did we cover everything on
yeah,
it?
there's nothing, that's it.
We got everything
Unless you
back
have
on
something
that?
you want to talk
Anybody
about.
want to put anything back in the folder here?
As long as you have one application, you don't need a
But no, I
lot of
want to
paper.
look at this, yeah. Do you have
You
anything else you
recycled
want to send that back
trash
in?
can, right? If we put it in
This-
that, that's recycled right there?
You going to keep that?
Yeah, all right, we put it over there, you don't need those.
This
All
one?
right, let's make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Hi.
Opposed, abstain. Bob, thank you. Bob.
Good night, Sonia.
I have some questions.